Hello, All-Star listeners, and welcome to another episode of the Veterinary Roundtable, presented by All-Star Veterinary Clinic, the podcast where we answer your veterinary-related questions while having some fun along the way. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to leave us a review on your podcast provider of choice, and if you have any feedback to offer to improve the Veterinary Roundtable, let us know. Speaking of reviews, at Lil Mama
Kelso,
or you could say it as La Ma Makes So. I can't say it. Left us an amazing review. Here it is. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Hey guys, I'm a 2023 vet school grad. Congratulations.
Whoop, you made it. Woo!
That's right. And I've been listening to the Veterinary Roundtable for quite a while now. I loved listening to it in vet school, and I love listening even more now that I'm out in practice. Every time I hear an episode, I learn something new, and you guys always make me laugh out loud. Turning on this podcast during my morning commute starts my day in the best way. Keep on keeping on. Yeah, baby. And thank you for talking about the real stuff.
I was air fist pumping. Thank you.
Keep it on.
Love it.
Keep on keeping on.
It's her morning routine.
We can totally do
So maybe
that.
we kind of are funny-ish.
Sometimes.
We have some jokes.
I think so.
Some days.
We make each other laugh.
That's right.
That's all that
right.
matters. We have to deal with each other every day, so might as well have fun.
Well, and we really, 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 really appreciate the reviews because they really do help.
Yes.
Yeah, it
You know,
makes more
get people,
followers.
more followers. It boosts followers. It gets people this information out to people, which I think then
Boost our morale.
I have
boosts our morale.
Yeah.
vet school or vet tech fellow classmates. Jesus, couldn't think of the word.
Spit
I
it
remember
out.
my first sentence.
Anyways, as I was rudely interrupted, my classmates are sending me TikToks from All Star. They're like, "Hey, this is you," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's me.
That's me.
One
The real one.
One lives in Colorado, another one lives in Florida.
Oh, awesome.
So they're traveling the whole United States of America.
That's fantastic.
The whole United States.
Here to bring people happiness,
The
joy.
U.S.
And I'm
Yes,
proud to be an American.
So yeah, I thought that was pretty cool that they're. I mean, TikTok, of course, travels everywhere, but I thought that was pretty cool that she forwarded it to me. She goes, "Oh my God, this is you."
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. You mean less needing high school students as employees.
Yes.
Mhm.
Hey, yeah. I mean, we've had some
Please.
like killer high school students in the past. Amazing
Now
high
they're
school
college.
students.
As
they're
in
now,
good college students.
Yes,
Yeah.
as in good college students. And I mean, high school students. And now they're on to college.
Mhm.
And so we are desperately in need of some young whippersnappers that are out there living the dream, want to live the dream, want to be
Yes.
part of the magic.
So much life to live.
Yes.
Come live it at All Star.
Yes. We can.
Spend your free time with us.
Yeah.
That's right. We
Yes.
can make your dreams a reality.
That's right.
So reach
We have
out
one high school student here.
during the day, you mean?
Yeah,
Like the intern. Because we do that. But I mean, we need somebody. Juju. But we do need people for after school.
Oh, after school, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, like Sophie.
Yes. And Sophie.
Woman's a saint.
Double
Mhm.
Sophies.
Double, yeah, both Sophies.
Oh, yeah, both Sophies. Yep.
So,
and Evelyn.
I mean,
Yep.
we grow them and then we let them go.
Yeah. Be the
And
next
it's
one.
so sad when they go because usually
Beautiful
they
little
stay like 3
butterflies.
or 4 years, like through their whole high school, and then
Mhm.
Yeah.
there they go.
And then you learn a lot and you can put on your resume or your applications, hey, I spent 4 years at a vet clinic and
Yeah.
I know how to draw blood and
Yeah.
I'm 16 years old.
Right.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
PSA looking for whippersnappers. Come in here. And
Westfield High School, Noblesville High School,
Fishers,
Guerin,
Carmel,
Fishers,
Guerin.
Carmel.
Yeah.
Shout out North
Sheridan.
Central High
Sheridan.
School.
Yeah.
Bring
Go
it.
Trojans, Bishop Chatard.
Who did
Oh.
Oh goodness.
You're just jealous because we beat you all the time.
I like this.
Anyway.
Where
gosh.
did you? Oh, you went to Dwanger.
Yeah, I went to Dwanger. What? Is that a real word?
Let's go.
It is a
Saints.
real word. We run against them in cross country.
Fort Wayne, Dwanger.
Dwanger.
Where?
Dwanger. All right.
Hold it against me.
Where?
I was a Panther.
I went to Bishop Chatard, shit yard. So, okay.
Oh, bleep it. Bleep. Bleep, 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 bleep.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyways,
Am I next?
Yes, ma'am.
yeah.
Okay. Also, before we get into introductions, we heard back from Labiba Rahim. I don't know why I did a little trill.
Way
there.
to go.
I'm so
That
sorry.
sounded
No,
really
I
good.
liked
I'm so sorry.
No,
It just
I mean,
came out.
Yeah, that was
Wait,
really good.
About her migraines. For those who missed episode 46, wow, 46. She
Mhm.
reached out to us after hearing one of our guests, head of treatment Amber O'Malley, frequently suffered from migraines. She wanted some tips on how to deal with them herself. So Amber wrote 5 very helpful tips for us to read on episode 47. Here's what Labiba had to say. Hey, just listened to the recent episode and definitely wasn't expecting to hear my name. Not butchered, by the way.
Yay.
Woo!
Yes.
Yayo.
Just wanted to say thank you so much to
Amber.
Amber.
Amber. Typo.
Amber.
Typo,
Harrison.
Harrison.
Typo. I don't know how my brain. Yeah. Anyway.
We got
And-
Labiba right, but Amber
I
wrong.
know. And all for helpful tips, both legal and illegal. Haha. I'm so glad you're all part of such a king and
Kind.
kind and
Oh my
compassionate
God,
team.
who wrote this?
Harrison,
I
you are
remember my
setting
first
us
essay.
up for
Oh my
failure.
That Theodore Guerin education right there.
Clearly
That really
my brain
paid. Well,
can't fix
That's all that
things.
money
12 years of Catholic education down the drain.
on the
You
drain.
can't say anything.
My dad says that to me all the time.
Yeah. I'm like, what did I pay
What
for?
does that even mean?
Well, Catholic schools you have to pay for.
Yeah.
And so it's like, well,
I was
shoot,
at public school.
I just wasted
Mm.
my money.
Yeah.
That's right. No.
Well, yay.
That Bishop shit yard.
Hey,
Oh.
don't be jealous. Bleep, bleep.
Oh my gosh. Okay, introductions. Go, Duckwall.
Oh, hey, what's up, y'all?
Hey, I'm
Not
Dr.
what I was
Dunwall.
talking about.
My name
Oh.
is
I was saying,
Duckwall.
give introductions. Tell
Who's
them.
that girl?
It's
Duckwall.
Oh.
All right, that's my intro. So
There you
someone
go.
else can
Okay.
Yes,
go.
Duckwall.
Do your
Duckwall.
own intro. It's a game.
Okay, go,
No,
Becca.
I don't want to do my own intro.
We have Becca Fidel.
What's up? Present.
And
Okay.
accounted for.
Okay.
I'm Abby. I'm here too.
Poo.
Hey, that's not nice. Just
poo.
because you can't make fun of my
The poo.
school doesn't mean you have to go after me personally.
We're central.
And then-
nothing bad happens.
Let's
Well,
go,
that
King.
shit
Come on,
happens.
King.
Yeah.
Let's go party. Yeah.
Come on, party. Let's go
Yeah, isn't and then I love your main. You should have skipped your main.
Yeah.
McCracken.
McCracken.
Well, we
You ever
got.
do that?
Are you guys related at all
McCracken.
Crack the whip.
to McCracken?
No,
Oh,
I
no.
did ask Brooke if we were
Brooke.
related.
Yeah, no
I said,
relation.
Brooke, tell me your lineage.
Your
I
lineage.
never put those two
Me
together.
either.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it's her husband's maiden name. I mean, name. Obviously, she's not her maiden. Anyway,
Maybe you're related to her husband somehow.
no, I don't think so.
Oh, lame.
I know. It is
Okay.
a good last name.
It is. It's fun. McCracken.
Look at a lot.
Yeah.
It's better than de poop.
Yeah, the poop. No, the poo.
De poop. Oh.
How y'all doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Great.
I keep thinking it's Tuesday, and I'm glad it's not.
Yeah, that's
It's
a plus.
a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Hump
Wed-
day.
Today is also
Right.
my half day, so I get to peace out at 3.
Wow, brag
Wow.
much?
You get leave at 1 on Thursdays.
Yeah.
I just got here. So I'm doing good.
That's it. I quit.
Okay, let's just move on.
Okay.
This is a lot.
All
Okay,
right.
these
Icebreakers.
Yep.
Is it pronounced GIF or GIF?
It's definitely GIF.
It's definitely Jif. No.
No,
GIF
it's
is
GIF.
peanut butter.
GIF
No.
peanut butter. I agree, Becca.
Oh
It's
my!
a soft G. Jif.
It's
Is that a
GIF.
soft G? I don't even know what that means.
yeah,
A soft G is a J.
it is. Yeah,
Is it?
Apparently.
I don't know. That's not true.
I
There's-
don't know.
there's
Google it.
GIF peanut butter, and then there's GIF.
Otherwise, it
Yes.
wouldn't be a G there with some kind of annotation over it if it was a soft something.
The
or
only
another.
It's a soft.
the only G that
Ja
is George.
or G? Ja?
My nephew's
G.
name. Shout out George.
GIF?
Jif. George Jif.
But there's also
Soft G.
good and great
It's GIF.
and God.
That's a hard G.
Well,
right?
when I read it
Got-
in my head,
yeah.
it's Jif.
I don't know the
It's
difference.
GIF.
Listen, we learned that when we were in 4th grade, and you dump that out to make room for other things.
That's right.
What are we
So-
dumping out?
All
Just
the
like you learned the Krebs
hard,
cycle.
soft noise stuff,
yeah.
like with letters, whatever.
Soft G is a J.
It's definitely GIF. What do you think?
In my head, I say it as GIF when I'm like reading it, and
Yeah.
I never say it outside.
But it's
out
spelled
loud.
GIF,
It's
right?
definitely. I say GIF always. I've never said it. Oh, I just
That
sent you a
sounds-
GIF.
Okay.
I don't send gifts.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gifts like with a T and an
No,
S
that's
at the end?
gift.
How do you pronounce
Gift.
GIF? It's not telling me.
Oh,
come on,
Here, you gotta
Siri.
go to Google.
What a bleep, bleep, bleep.
Right,
Not answering.
Don't know.
Put them dogs
Well,
away.
Oh my.
Sorry.
Ooh, stinky.
She's barefoot too. It could be her.
I have socks on. I'm not
This
barefoot.
is
I
a
didn't- that's what I
professional
meant.
organization.
Well,
We're
I
on
wanted to take my
Google.
shoes off.
I'm trying to see if it's
Oh.
GIF or GIF.
Did you figure it out?
Hang on, you ready?
Oh, we have a YouTube.
Well, it's short for graphics interchange format. GIF.
no.
Becca.
Oh,
What?
High five.
What's the credentials?
I don't know, but she's legit.
She's legit.
It's the first video.
She's
that
a
it
we
was
saw.
the
scientist.
very first video that popped
I
up.
didn't know that's what it stood for.
Yeah, I
Me
didn't
neither.
either.
I know they're,
Knowing
like,
that,
funny.
it does change
I
the
do
perspective.
love sending a GIF. There is nothing
I
better.
do too. Harrison.
There's a good
always
office.
laughs
The
at me.
office
The
GIFs
Office.
are
Mhm.
awesome.
They're
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, you can't go wrong with The Office. Okay, second one really ticks me off. Whoever the hell puts milk before their cereal
Wait,
needs...
we have to read the question. Is a cereal first or milk first approach the only acceptable way to prepare a bowl of cereal?
I can't even fathom putting milk
yeah,
first.
I mean,
Why
Are
would
you- how are
you
you
put
gonna
milk first? It
measure?
doesn't even make
Yeah.
sense. It
Yeah,
floats on the
no.
top.
I'm
just-
pretty sure that's an East Coast thing.
Putting the milk in
The
first.
milk first, yes.
People do that.
Then what do you like? Dunk your cereal to get it
I don't
under the milk?
know, but they're serial killers. No pun intended.
That's not funny.
Anyways, how do you know how much milk to put in if you put the milk in
That's what I'm
first?
saying. You got to measure it correctly.
If I want to eat the whole box
Yeah.
of cereal, I'm going to put the whole box of cereal and then I'll follow with the milk.
That's right.
Whoa.
I remember my
Excuse
first
me.
cereal bowl. Right? Am I right?
No. She's gonna keep going with the same joke.
I don't get her humor today.
You need to do the cricket sound at that moment.
Yes, the crickets.
Yeah, once she says that,
He'll
go,
just make it an isolated video so that I get made fun of all over the
Exactly.
United
That's
States.
exactly what
you
he's gonna do.
better do the cricket sound because it was a 5 seconds of hard sound.
Am I right?
That's really, what the?
Thank you.
Do you remember the cereal bowls with the straw that was
Oh,
built
hell
in?
yeah.
Especially with the chocolate crispies or whatever the hell they're called.
Rice,
Oh.
like the Cocoa Krispies.
Oh,
Ooh,
man.
the milk at the end of a cereal bowl.
Don't
It's
even.
It's
disgusting.
warm and
I don't
it's-
want it.
How slow
Ugh.
do you eat your cereal?
Yeah, what are you, osmosis?
That should
doesn't
have
make sense
crickets.
either.
Are you kidding? It's
All
just
right.
gross.
If you could replace the
Gross.
handshake with any other gesture, what would it be?
I know. You come
Yes.
up, you turn around, you both put either foot up, you clap it with your foot, and then you go separate ways, and then you're done.
I
I thought about this
need to see
A
overnight.
an
high
example.
five with the feet.
Yeah, but you come up, you turn around, your
I like
backside, your feet come up, high five,
So-
goodbye.
I like
Oh,
a good chest
So
bump.
you're okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's always solid.
Do you want to
but
do
it
the
might
handshake?
hurt. No, I don't want to do your handshake.
Anyway, I thought about it overnight, just so you know.
So you're high-fiving with your foot?
Hey, that's the new handshake, yeah.
You turn around and
I'm not chest bumping
I'm
with
good
you.
with
You'll
just
knock me over.
throwing up
You're
the bunny
strong.
ears.
Or
Throw 'em
some
up.
little
Just
dog.
piece into each other and then
Just
walk.
piecing.
Hey, give me some dog. That's a good one.
Here's some dogs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice to meet you.
You sound like you're like social distancing. Like you're.
Or
Yeah.
like
I
a
have
tourist.
I had bad memories with that. I'm like, that's like
Have you ever gone to
Peace.
Catholic mass and you're giving peace to each other?
Well, yeah,
How
if
do
you're
you
too
go
far
from down
away.
the road? You go like this.
Okay, well, that's like you can't shake hands, but you got that like crazy old lady that's like, "Don't touch me, please. Don't touch me."
That's right. Oh Lord.
We're going into flu season, so
I know. Pat has it real bad. Well, he did have it really bad, and I was like, "Get the hell away from me!"
yeah. 'Tis the season of allergies and asthma, and
I did have the stomach flu like 3 or 4 weeks ago. It destroyed me.
No.
It kicked my butt.
Do you want to talk about
Ew.
it?
No, I don't want to talk about it.
yes, Ferris's details gross.
I think my handshake would be the whole like Irish jig, like where you're like ding, ding, and then you're like like hip bump, and then like some kind of like butt shake on the turnaround.
Gotta
It's like
gotta shimmy the butt.
Parent Trap dance.
Yeah.
What is that?
yeah.
What's the Parent Trap dance?
Oh.
They have a whole
Oh,
handshake
she's-
together.
Okay.
Your little.
We'll put it right here.
I know the old Parent Trap, and I know the new Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan.
That's not new. That's old too.
That is old. That's what I mean. That one's
Okay,
old, but I know the old
Lindsay
old.
Lohan is her and her butler do this really fun.
Like
What?
Oh, dear
They do
God.
the fun dance when they see each other. It's really
Okay.
fun. You'll have to show it, Harrison.
Yeah.
Or a glip.
Or a GIF.
A gift.
A little clip of it is what I meant to say.
It's a clip.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, all these people are calling me today.
Wow,
What
you're
is
so
going
popular.
on?
You're so
popular.
busy.
Oh my God.
Oh
Okay,
my
let's move on to
goodness
case
gracious.
collections.
Case collections.
Alrighty.
Becca, go.
Oh, okay. All right. So last week, we had,
Do you just want me to answer it?
who is it?
Answer it? Oh, okay. It's my sister.
Oh, gee, which one? You have 8 of them.
My older sister. Oh gosh. All right. Interesting cases.
Yes.
Let's hit it.
Okay, so last week we had I think he was still a puppy. I want to say like 9 or 10 month old dachshund puppy that decided to have some fun and got into his parents' special gummies. By special, I mean
quotations.
weed gummies.
Containing THC.
You have to whisper it.
Weed gummies. The poor fella just was having a great time and it tasted
High as a
good.
kite.
And he got into 4 to 6 10-milligram
Oh.
gummies.
How much did he weigh?
He weighed like 10
Oh
pounds.
God, his face was like
The dude came in and he was sitting. My favorite part was he was sitting in his cage. We put him in the really padded cage, and he was like this.
As a
My
dachshund, that has
my
to be
favorite
weird.
part with those are the people going into the room with the people. It's
Yeah.
not as bad as it used to be.
No,
Yeah.
now people are like, yeah, mhm.
You know, but back
I
in the
don't know.
day, I remember the first time I saw it happen, I went in a room and I was like, you know what? I think that what's happened is that your dog's gotten into marijuana. And, you know, I was thinking they were going to like say something back at, you know, like, no. And they just, it was a husband and wife and they looked at each other and they said, they go, I thought you closed that door. And she goes, no, I thought you told him to close this door. And I was like, okay, so clearly that I'm right.
Yes.
At least I know what I'm doing. Okay.
But my
It was so
pet
funny.
peeve is it's like people are hesitant to tell you because
Sure.
it's, you know,
Still
illegal.
a stigma kind of thing.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
For the most part, you know, especially in the surrounding states like Michigan and Illinois, it's legal. But here it's illegal and they're like worried we're going to like turn them into the police. It's like, no, dude, I just want to treat your dog.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what you do on your free time. I just need to know what your dog ate. And
Yeah.
so when your dog gets into marijuana, yeah, it sucks. But be honest with us. No one in the veterinary field is ever going to call the cops because your dog ate weed gummies or
Yep.
brownies or cookies or whatever the
Yeah.
heck they make nowadays.
What
I mean,
were-
when they come in with a face
Like
that's
this.
like hitting the floor.
tell them the other common symptom that we
Yeah.
usually see.
Oh, urination, like just
Incontinence. Yeah.
yes, just
Like
peeing out of
dribble.
nowhere. Dilated pupils, obviously.
stumbling.
Stumbling. What? Geez.
They
Paranoia.
can get a
This
fever.
dachshund was extremely paranoid. Like you'd open the door and he'd freak out.
Mhm.
So we
Yeah.
were taking his blood pressure and we were also watching him for seizures. It was a McDivitt patient. But he ended up doing fine. We just loaded him with fluids and just gave him time.
Dark
and,
room.
Yeah.
Some snacks.
Good drink.
We called for a pizza for him.
Yes. Here's some Doritos.
Just make sure you're comfortable.
Cool Ranch Doritos. But that's another good snack, Harrison. Sorry.
Harrison asked for good snacks.
Yeah, he asked
That's
for
where
good
her
snacks
brain is.
earlier. Anyways, but yes, like it happens. We know you're probably gonna have. I mean, especially with Illinois, Michigan being so close, like you can just drive 2 hours this way or 2 hours that way and get access to them.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the important part about that case is he was so high
Mhm.
that it wasn't safe to make him vomit.
Oh yes, that's another. Yes,
Yeah.
Dr. McDivitt was worried about aspirating.
Yeah.
He had already obviously absorbed most of the THC and was clearly not with it. And so she said, I don't want to induce vomiting in case he vomits and then aspirates. And then
Right.
that's a whole nother issue. But he hung out with us all day and did really well. Like I said, we bloated him with IV fluids and just sent the owners home with, signs to look out for, to take him to emergency if needed. And then
Right.
so far as I think he's fine.
Awesome.
Interesting.
Awesome.
Okay, so my case, real quick, I don't have an update on the third eyelid cat case. I just don't.
We don't know what's happening.
I don't know. I think the eyelids are still down. So that's good. Okay. No news is good news here.
No
in
news
Yes.
is good
Field.
news. Exactly.
My case is a 13-year-old female spayed shepherd mix, and she came in for a couple concerns, a cyst, a mass on her skin that we looked at. She was aging, teeth, things like that. But the biggest thing was this kind of slowly progressive change in her back left limb. And I had examined her for her annual, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago. It'd been a while. And we had at the time talked about, arthritic pain, things like that. And she had been on some meds. Well, this was different. She came in and essentially her digits were like in this flexed position in her back left paw. So it's like a claw almost. Like if you, you can imagine that.
A claw.
Yeah. And so I could straighten them and extend them by just, manipulating, palpating, but then it would go right back to being flexed. So I knew something with, just like in our hands, dogs have tendons and that go up to your fingers, like from the wrist, things like that kind of help with extension and flexion. And with all 5 being affected, you then have to start to worry, like, how high up is it affected?
Sure.
So to get it all at once. And so I sent pictures to one of the orthopedic surgeons that we refer to. He's fantastic. And instantly he said, that is a partial tear of the common calcanean tendon, aka the Achilles tendon.
Oh.
Wow.
And so, of course, verification or definitive diagnosis, usually they'll do like an ultrasound or a CT just to confirm.
You'd have to do a CT.
Exactly where the tear is, how bad is the tear. So I just asked, like, is surgery indicated? And he said typically to get their weight bearing back appropriately, because she legit was on all like tips of her toes.
Oh my god.
On both legs or just one?
Just one.
Okay.
So it probably was from some sort of traumatic injury, something like that. So I presented the option to the owner. She's an older kiddo. She's not in a lot of pain, actually, which is
that's good.
You're right.
But you worry about compensation over time.
Mm-hmm.
So have not heard back on what route they'd like to go, but that is usually surgery is indicated.
Wow.
Interesting.
I mean, I've seen it happen to humans, and it's horrible, and you can hear it.
Mhm.
I hope it's a partial tear, though.
I suspect he said partial because if you look at her stance, and I didn't notice it till after the fact, her ankle was only partly flexed down.
I was
whereas,
saying, could she keep tension on her?
So she
still could have tension on her.
Yeah. But if a complete torn, they're like literally walking
Just-
on their hocks,
yeah.
like on their ankles.
Oh, wow.
It's just,
Yeah. No thanks.
It's like opposite.
Mm.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Ugh.
so
It's really common
very
in like
interesting.
football and basketball players too. Like I had one of my teammates, I heard it during a game.
Blech.
I heard it pop, and she
Nope.
just like instantly fell to the ground
Oh,
and grabbed
God.
her foot.
yeah.
And like
Can
the
you
whole gym
imagine?
was just
Ooh.
like, because I mean it's a big tendon, and when
Yep.
that tears,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
Mm.
she was okay. She had surgery and recovered.
Good. There you go.
Mine, in that
Okay.
same light, is an old dachshund, a 13-year-old dachshund that came in for being down in her carpus. And so she had carpal hyperflexion syndrome where over time, their tendons weaken.
Oh yeah.
And so then they're walking on their
Mhm.
carpus.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Like
she
Emma.
had some joint swelling on the
Oh.
dorsal surface of both of her carpal joints, but she's not painful. But unfortunately, there's just nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So, there are some things you can do, but they're not great options. So you can arthrodese the joint, which means that you can put a pin into the joint to keep the joint from moving so that it stays stable. So instead of walking up on their toes, she was walking down on
Mhm.
her, which looks really odd when
Yeah.
you see them,
Mm-hmm.
because they
Ouch.
should be more.
That's
up.
what Emma did. Our cat.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And so
R.I.P.
you can
Mhm.
arthrodese the joint to keep them up instead of laying flat, but it's a
a lot for
then they
13.
can't flex it either direction. It's like then you have no range of motion at that
Right.
point. Then
Yeah.
And she's
Um,
already arthritic.
they're
I'm
typically
sure.
not painful, but then I think what this owner is going to try is some PT and then
Mhm.
some splints.
Yeah.
Mm.
So is really
Yes, that is another thing that you could do with mine too,
yours
as a
is-
brace.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Just to
Just wear
support
it.
the ankle. Yeah.
there's a company called Dog Legs legs with 2 Gs, and they produce some nice quality splints and
cool.
wraps and things like that for some of these problems. And their product seems to be a little bit better manufactured in terms of measuring and getting what you need in terms of measurements, and then fitting the patient and their leg and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it's common in these guys. It's common in Shelties, small breed dogs. I think we see it most frequently in small breed
Cloud
dogs.
saw a corgi.
Yep.
We did like joint taps and everything, and did autoimmune testing to make sure it wasn't autoimmune disease.
So,
But yeah, it was similar. She was.
yeah.
But it was worse on her hocks though. It wasn't her front. So I'm sure it was similar.
And
to
I
how
think
she was-
in these guys with this particular syndrome, their front legs are always the ones that seem to be affected.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Those joints will get you.
yeah.
Yep. What you got, Abby?
I have an interesting case collection because it's kind of my own case, I guess. Over Labor Day weekend, I wanted to give a shout out to Alice's Garden over off of, it's kind of by the Indy Humane Society. If you guys are like, what is that? West?
Michigan?
Yeah, Michigan and 71st Street. They have a nursery cat there, Smokey. She was turning 22 years old. So
gosh.
they were having a sale and everything. Of course, I need more plants. So I went. I spoke with a woman named Kathy who I was able to meet. We started talking about Smokey. And this is going back to last podcast. She was like, yeah, we started getting her injections at our vet. And I'm like, interesting. Do you happen to like know the name? She's like, I'm like, Silencia. This Smokey, 22 years old. She's out running around the nursery and everything. So just really want to hammer home that if your cat is uncomfortable in any kind of way or getting older, like my cat had the zoomies last night with a piece of plastic. It's crazy at
Bella.
15 years old.
Bella, who's a
Aw.
boy.
Bella, who's a boy, don't. He's awesome.
Yeah.
she, they, them.
She, they,
yes,
them.
please bring your cat in
Yes.
and your dog soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please bring
It's
your
coming
cat
out
in.
soon.
Shout out to Smokey,
Wow.
22 years old.
That's
Smokey.
insane.
Yeah,
22.
living out of nursery cats are the best, I tell
A
you.
centurion.
That's
like,
awesome.
right?
Yeah.
Sarah.
We call them over 20 centurions.
Oh gosh.
Isn't
Love it.
there one of the distilleries in, what's it called? Downtown Fountain Square?
Do they have a distillery cat?
Yeah, they have a distillery cat and he's like 18 years old.
Amazing.
That just
It'll be
goes to
okay.
show you that you should drink to live long.
Right.
Exactly.
Drinking
That's right.
by plants.
But when I used to work for Cityway Animal Clinics, the Fountain Square one, he was one of our patients.
Oh, fun.
Because they were just right down the street.
Yeah.
And I can't remember his name.
Made a big impact, it
Yeah.
seems like.
Okay.
It'll come to you.
Alright, on to listener
It's too
questions.
easy.
You, me?
You
Okay.
go.
I would like your opinion on fear-free clinics. I feel mine is taking advantage or going overboard. My cat tried to move her paw when they tried to draw blood. They wanted to stop there and reschedule when I can give her calming meds. Is this normal or am I being taken advantage of? Any pet or person would pull their arm back. Thoughts? At Disco Drew 99.
I'm on this person's side.
Yeah,
I am not.
That's ridiculous.
Like, I feel like Fear Free's gone way overboard.
Way,
The
way
cat will
overboard.
sneeze and they'll be like, oh, gabapentin.
And
Yeah.
I was reading this
Yeah.
question and I'm like, you know your animal the best, especially with cats. I always ask owners when I pick them up, I'm like, oh, does it like to be picked up? Like,
Yeah.
you know your cat the
Yeah.
best. Fear free is for the vet or the doctor to be able to provide an exam and read the animal's body language, but
Mhm.
you as an owner already know your animals and how they feel. So, yeah, I think that's just a little too much, a little overboard.
Yeah, I mean, if it's truly like the arm was pulled out and the cat just pulled it back and that's it,
It's ridiculous.
that's a little too
I mean, if the cat was like
sensitive, I guess. But
Yeah,
trying to bite
that's
you
good
or
one.
something like that, that's a whole.
I think
another
it's
story,
like, yeah,
but-
reading, like maybe there was more to the story.
Yeah,
I don't
who
know.
knows?
Just like maybe the cat was escalate. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. But I think if that's all it was, that's a little too, yeah.
That's way too excessive. I mean, I know there's nothing against fear free. I think
Well, we
you know,
we
it's-
go by it
Yes.
here with cats.
Yeah.
I was
Like,
about to say, I think everyone in here practices fear free in their own way. Like
The
we're
best
not
we
going to
can,
push
yeah.
any animal.
for this animal safety and our safety.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, that's a little. I mean, if
well,
that's,
there are criterias you have to follow
Yeah,
to
to be
get certified,
certified.
too.
yes.
So
are all the doctors or just Faust?
fear-free certified
Yeah.
Faustas, and then she basically teaches everybody else, and then they certify the clinic, I think is how it works.
Oh, cool. Okay.
yeah.
Interesting.
But
I mean, I know Faust is the cat guru.
I think they've gone, like completely to the other side of the fence at this point
I
now.
agree.
I mean, I feel like it's very important because animal safety and people safety,
Mhm.
but at the same time, I see times where we're not willing to, slightly, make the animal uncomfortable. But my problem is in a cat, say you don't want to restrain them at all in order, like for you to get anything done, they have to do it willingly. I think that's a really hard ask.
Mhm.
Now we're asking the owner to go home and come back. Cats don't like to travel at all,
Right.
period.
No.
So like
No.
I'm much more on board with like your cat's here. Let me do something else while they're here. Give them a little bit of gas. Give them some gabapentin. Give them an injectable. I hate the idea of sending people home to come back when
Yeah.
you have a cat. I think it's
true.
I'd be like, are you freaking kidding
Yeah.
me? You know how hard it is for me to get in the
get here?
carrier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get here.
Especially
get time
like
off
indoor
of work.
outdoor cats too.
It's like just get what you need done.
Yeah.
And I get that.
I agree.
Mhm.
I
and
agree.
especially when it's
frustrating.
like, then people get in their head, like, let me hold the cat. Well, no, we don't want you to hold the cat because we don't want you injured.
Oh gosh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
No.
Because of liability and
That's
all
a
these other
liability.
things,
Yeah.
but also we know that in dogs, they escalate their response. So we're trying to keep that from happening so that then they can be better,
Mhm.
when they are older, like as they continue to evolve and come in and out of the clinic.
Right.
But I think really all of this needs to be handled on the front end when you have kittens and puppies, and they need to be socialized and desensitized in a particular way,
Happy visits.
and managed and handled
Yeah.
at home in such a way that you can perform simple procedures, and processes on them.
Right.
Because I think that's where we run into trouble
Yeah.
is that they're not used to having their feet touched. They're not used to having their head manipulated
Yeah.
or
Exactly.
being held still or,
Yeah.
I mean, you name it. There's
And
a
if
ton
they
of them.
truly are that bad to where we do our safety, like our safe restraining procedures, and it escalates that quickly, then they need chemical sedation, like
Right.
for truly people safety too, because cat bites are really
Oh,
dangerous,
gosh.
and then
They
cat
can-
scratches are, I mean, they're not
Cat
as bad,
scratch
but
fever.
yeah, they can get that.
Yeah, no, it's true.
So
It
It's-
happens.
I mean,
Yeah,
to answer your question, I don't think that you're being taken advantage of. So I think that that's not the outlook or not the impression I would get based
Right.
upon what the
I think there's
clinic did.
different levels
Mhm.
of the
Yes.
fear-free.
Yep.
They're
That-
trying
yeah.
to create the best experience for you and your pet.
Mm-hmm.
They just are forgetting about the experience of getting your pet here. And that wasn't good either. Or having to take them home, or that they vomit every time they come in the car, or that also have to be mindful of that. So I think maybe potentially the next time you go in, either asking them to go ahead and finish what they've started by using sedation while you're there,
Yeah.
or moving forward always, because you're not going to hurt the cat by always sedating it.
Mm-hmm.
We have that joke here about every cat should come with gabapentin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because it just creates a better experience for them.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt them.
Yeah.
So
And I just had a client do this. It was perfect. They called ahead. They said, hey, my cat's scheduled to come in at like 5 p.m., but last time we had to sedate, like, and
there anything
it's
we
just
can
taking
do?
that accountability, and the
Mhm.
reminder
Mhm.
too was amazing. I thanked them for it, because then we were able to set up a time for them to come the next morning. We had time planned so that if we had to fully sedate, they were already
Mhm.
there.
Mhm.
We did that. Cat went home within an hour. Like
Yeah.
it was
it
perfect.
was way more convenient
Yeah.
and efficient.
And she still had gabapentin on board. So we tried, but it was still just not enough. So it's like knowing your cat's limits too, so that it's still a one trip
Mhm.
and it's not like the back and forth, but you still give it a go with the gabapentin as best you can. And
Right.
because maybe the car trip wasn't as bad for her. I don't know.
It's similar with dogs too. It's like, hey, my dog is really, really hates the vet, and he or she can become severely aggressive. So why don't you just sedate him?
Oh, yeah.
It's just really, it's nice when the owners are,
Up front.
yeah.
I
And just-
totally appreciate that, especially
Yeah.
being like the first one that goes into a room.
Yeah.
Hi, and they
And
bite you.
yeah, when I'm really excited to see you and you
Yeah.
tell me, no, he doesn't like to be in your face, I love
Yeah.
that. Don't feel
Mhm.
bad for ever saying
Yeah,
something
don't
like
feel
that.
bad for being honest.
And I think you have those situations too, like probably to this point where my cat's perfectly fine. It was
Mhm.
perfectly fine when it left the room or when
Mhm.
it whatever.
Yeah.
Now you're telling me that it's not happy. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
you get these situations where,
Yeah.
you know, and restraint is hard on
It is.
animals, like, because it's not instinctually something that they should want to have happen.
Mhm.
Right.
That's why you have to train it that it's okay for it to happen.
Yeah.
But for them to instinctually be, you know, held, because you have to, right? We have to hold them. We can't be like, now, could you mind? Would you mind? Just
I
sit
wish
here.
that would be so much
Yeah.
easier.
You know, and it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
And so I think, I don't want you to feel bad that that either your cat was misbehaving or that somehow your veterinarian's not being honest with you. They're trying to create the best experience for your
Mhm.
cat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, but I do agree that it can go to the other side. Like,
Yeah.
It does. To
There's a
me,
fine
it does seem a
balance.
little overboard if it
Yeah.
just moved its arm. If it was growling and snarling and scratching, that's another story. But
Right.
and I think too, like creating policies or procedures like we have here, where this is how we draw blood in cats.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
we shave their neck. We put lidocaine cream on it. I mean, like, there's all these things we do to try and keep it from
Mhm.
being
Right.
a bad experience
Yeah.
so that
Or
it
back
can be
leg.
fear-free.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
And I think we're all really good at knowing a cat's or picking up on the signals of the cat's limits.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
that we don't push them into now we can't even sedate them safely. You
Yeah.
know, just things
Someone
like
getting hurt or have, like King said, having to send them home. Be like,
To-
hey, just come
yeah.
on back.
And if they even want to come back, you know.
that. Yeah.
right. So
There's
don't
a
be
lot of
afraid. Don't be
elements to it.
afraid of the gabapentin.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and the cats love it. I mean, it's not going to hurt them.
So
Yeah.
It's a very,
I think it's very
Safe.
common nowadays too. I mean,
Yeah.
this conversation.
Oh, yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
All day long. How many times a day do you have this conversation?
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
So I think educating owners to know that this is how the industry is evolving, you know, in order to provide better care. So that's why
Mhm.
you're hearing these conversations over and
Right.
over again.
Hope that helps. Let us know.
Disco
Okay.
Drew 99.
Yeah, great question.
Yeah.
Hopefully
That's
that
a good
helps.
question. Do we have any fear-free clinics here in Indy?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's lots of fear-free clinics.
Like
in
just
India.
specific? Is it like?
I don't know if it has to be like for cat or for dog. Can you just be a fear-free clinic
Yes.
in general? Got it.
Well, I guess technically, are we or we're not yet?
Certified.
No.
I know Faust. did
Faust
the
is, but
training.
that's cat.
Oh, gotcha.
So
Yeah.
Mm, no.
all right.
Outro.
Outro. Thank you
And we're
so
done.
much for tuning in to another episode of the Veterinary Roundtable. Remember, send in those questions and be sure to follow us on all social media platforms at All Star Veterinary Clinic. If you enjoyed this episode or a previous episode, leave us a review on your podcast provider of choice. We'll see you in a few weeks for the next episode of the Veterinary Roundtable.
Yay!
Peace.
A peace.
Sunny
Peace.
ears.
Oh,
Oh, I
what was
can't stop
mine?
yawning.
Bow, bow.
Oh, yeah,
You're
yeah.
doing a jig.
Oh my
and
god, my
hips.
foot is asleep.
I had to get-
Sandbags.